Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers, from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Stress and Tension, Part 2, from Sri Aurobindo. It is not that the pulling and straining and tension can do nothing. In the end, they prevail for some result or other, but with difficulty, delay, struggle, strong upheavals of the forces breaking through in spite of all. Ramakrishna himself began by pulling and straining and got his result, but at the cost of a tremendous and perilous upsetting. Afterwards, he took the quiet psychic way whenever he wanted a result, and got it with ease and in a minimum time. You say that this way is too difficult for you, or the likes of you, and it is only avatars like myself or the Mother that can do it. That is a strange misconception, for it is, on the contrary, the easiest and simplest and most direct way, and anyone can do it, if he makes his mind and vital quiet. Even those who have a tenth of your capacity can do it. It is the other way of tension and strain and hard endeavor that is difficult and needs a great force of tapasya. As for the Mother and myself, we have had to try all ways, follow all methods, to surmount mountains of difficulties, a far heavier burden to bear than you or anybody else in the ashram or outside. Far more difficult conditions, battles to fight, wounds to endure, ways to cleave through impenetrable morass and desert and forest, hostile masses to conquer. A work such as, I am certain, none else had to do before us. For the leader of the way, in a work like ours, has not only to bring down or represent and embody the divine, but to represent too the ascending element in humanity, and to bear the burden of humanity to the full, and experience, not in a mere play or leela, but in grim earnest, all the obstruction, difficulty, opposition, baffled, hampered, and only slowly victorious labor which are possible on the path. But it is not necessary nor tolerable that all should be repeated over again to the full in the experience of others. It is because we have the complete experience that we can show a straighter and easier road to others, if they will only consent to take it. It is because of our experience, won at a tremendous price, that we can urge upon you and others, take the psychic attitude, follow the straight sunlit path, with the divine openly and secretly upbearing you. If secretly, he will yet show himself in good time. Do not insist on the hard, hampered, roundabout, and difficult journey. Question: how can one increase the receptivity of the body? Sri Aurobindo: it depends on the part. The method is almost the same for all parts of the being. To begin with, the first condition, to remain as quiet as possible. You may notice that in the different parts of your being, when something comes and you do not receive it, this produces a shrinking. There is something which hardens in the vital, the mind, or the body. There is a stiffening, and this hurts. One feels a mental, vital, or physical pain. So, the first thing is to put one's will and relax this shrinking, as one does a twitching nerve or a cramped muscle. You must learn how to relax. Be able to relieve this tension in whatever part of the being it may be. One can act through thought by calling the peace, tranquility, parentheses. The feeling of peace takes away much of the difficulty, end parentheses. Like this: peace, 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 tranquility, calm. Many discomforts, even physical, like all these contractions of the solar plexus, which are so unpleasant and give you at times nausea, the sensation of being suffocated, of not being able to breathe again, can disappear thus. It is the nervous center which is affected. It gets affected very easily. As soon as there is something which affects the solar plexus, you must say, calm, calm, calm. Become more and more calm until the tension is destroyed. This state of mind, described in your letter, must be due to a tension created by an urge in the psychic to make a complete surrender to the mother, and some obstruction in the vital mind and surface intellect. This mind supports the obstruction by an excessive self-depreciation, parentheses, not well-founded as a sound and just self-examination would be, end parentheses, and a questioning of all you do so that you can see only defects and wrong motives. That creates unrest, doubt, and strain, and hampers your sadhana, and prevents the psychic impulse from acting freely. You should do your work simply, in the confidence that it is accepted and appreciated by the mother, as indeed it is, for your work has been very good and helpful to her. Let the psychic movement express itself simply and spontaneously in action, without allowing the outer mind to interfere. That would very likely release the tension, and then your sadhana could proceed in a quiet cheerfulness, confident of its own truth and the mother's loving acceptance.